Nicolson.
Thank you. Mr. Cope, I'm quite struck by the fact that your memory has recovered to an extraordinary degree in the course of this evidence. You began the evidence saying you could scarcely remember what you did last Tuesday, but now you can, or indeed any of your travel arrangements. But now you've got a very detailed memory. You remember that you were asked to drive Shane Sutton to the airport, expecting to bring back bikes, remembering there was a car, not a van, that you checked in luggage. You even remember the size of the package. It's a curious way your memory works.
Can't help how my memory works, can I?
It's a question of credibility, of course, though, isn't it? Why didn't you ask what was in the package?
I didn't feel I needed to.
But this is a very unusual circumstance that you're in. You've said that you didn't often deliver to a doctor, and yet on this occasion you were asked to give something to a doctor. I think at the heart of this evidence, what people will find hard to believe is that you travelled through an airport with a package for a doctor and you didn't ask what was in that package.
I trusted my employees.
But you understand why people find that an extraordinary bit of evidence for you to give?
Potentially, yes, I do.
But it's not a question.
In hindsight, yes.
No, I absolutely understand why you say that you trusted your employer, because that's clearly an attempt to shift focus onto them. But the focus is on you today. Now, whether you trusted your employer or not, it is a normal and natural question to ask what is in a medical package that you're transporting across international boundaries by plane.
I didn't ask.
See, I would ask my partner, my best friend, my employer, what was in a package that I was going to transport by plane. All of us would. Everybody in this room would, apart from you.
Well, you're better people than I am, aren't you?
It's not a question of being better than you, it's just a question of doing something that is logical, because all of us know that when we go to the airport, we get asked what's in our baggage. So you were faced with two choices: either to lie and say that you didn't know that you knew what was in it and you'd packed it yourself, or to say that there was nothing. You were carrying nothing. And that's why I think at the heart of this evidence, people just find something deeply suspicious.
I was asked to take a package out to France, and that's what I did. I didn't ask what was in it.
And yet you've already said that sometimes people were asked to transport detergent. Remember you said that earlier in your evidence?
Yeah, I did say that, yes.
Right. So clearly your employers were in the habit of telling you what was in packages.
I didn't say I transported the detergent. I think you can get asked to take anything anywhere.
No, but you mentioned detergent.
That was a off-the-cuff comment.
Whether it was off or on the cuff, that's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly your employers were in the habit of telling couriers such as yourself what was in the packages that they were transporting.
May well be, but they didn't tell me what was in this package.
So the standard practice was to say what was in packages. Just on this particular occasion, transporting medicine to a doctor, they didn't say what was in the package.
I think you'd have to ask them that. Again, it's a question for the doctor, isn't
No,
it? I can't answer that.
No, you're the witness today,
Right.
not them, which is why we're asking you questions.
Well, I don't know what was in it. I took it, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. Looking back, what do you think was in the package?
I have no clue. People are saying it's Flumicil, so if that's what it was, that's what it was.
What was your master plan? What were you going to do if the package had been opened?
I didn't have a master plan. I think you think this is some... I don't know what you think it is. I was asked to take a package and...
See, you're so different from everybody else in this room, because I would be very nervous if I was transporting a package.
Well,
and I didn't know what it was in it.
Because I didn't think it was anything untoward.
But you didn't have a clue what it was?
Not a clue what it was. Didn't ask.
Have you, in your period as an athlete, ever seen dodgy substances given to athletes?
What, like physically actually seen it?
Yeah.
No. Not at all.
Trackside, have you heard about it?
Trackside? How do you mean trackside? Could you elaborate?
Gossip.
Well, there's plenty of gossip. There's gossip everywhere, isn't there?
Gossip that you believed?
How can you believe until people go positive, basically?
I don't know what that answer means.
Well, there's gossip about everything, isn't it? There's gossip about mechanical doping, there's gossip about doping. It's gossip, isn't it? It's gossip about everything.
Yeah, but we're talking about you and people that you knew in the sport that you presumably loved. Did you hear people talk about doping in a way that you found credible?
There's been talk, yes, but
Did you find it credible?
Credible.
Credible. I feel we tend to keep repeating one another. I don't quite know why. So credible, you know what credible means. Did you find it credible, some of the gossip that you heard?
Yeah, believable, yes.
Okay, well, I'll go with believable. So you did find it credible, believable, some of the gossip that you heard about drug taking?
I think we all know that within sport, don't we? There's a financial gain, people are going to cheat.
Okay, so you'd been involved in the sport, you'd heard gossip about drug taking, you found that gossip credible or believable. You were then asked, most unusually, to transport a package across international boundaries. And even though you believed that drug taking was credible and that you were being asked to deliver this package, you never thought to ask what was in this package.
No, not with the stance of Team Sky and British Cycling of zero tolerance. I totally believe that is their philosophy.
But you just said that there was gossip which you found credible about drug taking.
You're talking about in my career, we're going back 20 years.
You can't both say that and then say, highly suspicious, there has been drug taking, I believe some of the gossip, but I don't believe the gossip, and was therefore prepared to transport a package.
You're talking about in my career as a cyclist. I'm going back to the 80s and 90s.
In your sport in general? In
the sport in general. I would believe there are some people that cheat, yes.
Okay, so we've established that you think there is cheating in sport.
In general, I'm not saying cycling, I'm saying in general sport.
Okay, so you believe or do not believe there's cheating in cycling?
I believe there potentially is.
Well, do you or don't you? I mean,
yeah, of course they do.
Right, okay, fine. So you
like
think
everybody else.
Okay, so you think there's cheating in cycling?
In cycling as a whole, worldwide. I'm not saying British cycling, I'm saying cycling on a whole.
Do you think there's cheating in British cycling?
No, I don't.
No cheating at all?
No.
You've never heard anybody say...
I've never heard anything at all about
no gossip, no rumours?
No gossip at all.
So who's doing, just out of interest, I'm sure the journalists would love to know the answer to this question, I
think they know themselves, so I don't know what to say. No, I'm not saying.
You're not going to say who you think is cheating?
Well, no, because I'm putting my neck on the line. So
how are you putting your neck on the line?
Well, I could be wrong, but obviously...
No, I'm not asking you to name names.
All right, there's been systematic doping within the Soviet Union, hasn't there? So that's what's come out. You know, I would say, you know, individual riders potentially would take the risk because there is financial gain. But as for British cycling, I've never seen anything.
Who did you talk to in the run-up to giving this evidence session? Who did you prepare this evidence session with?
Just my lawyer. That's it.
Didn't talk to anybody else involved in the sport about this?
As in?
I'm asking you the question.
No.
So the only person that you've talked to in the run-up to this?
I've spoken to my lawyer and also some friends. That's it.
Friends involved in the sport?
Friends that have been involved in the sport, yeah, in the past, yes.
Any senior figures in the sport?
No. Mechanics and soigneurs.
And detergent manufacturers?
Yeah, Homo.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Coe, I just want to